With summer in full swing, I feel that familiar urge to refresh my closet, but I'm not trying to waste money on pieces that I'm going to wear once or for just one season. And that's where Quince comes in. Their clothes are timeless, feel luxurious, look elevated, and the quality is way beyond what you'd expect for the price. I just got a white linen maxi dress. Now, if I had paid for that dress in a department store, I would have paid $170. Well, guess what? I got it for $69. And by the way, that same dress comes in blue pinstripe. Think 100% European linen top starting at $30. Washable silk dresses and skirts and soft cotton sweaters. Versatile warm weather pieces that you're going to reach for again and again. And the best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury without the markup. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. So you've got to give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/Kate Casey for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Kate Casey to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Kate Casey.
Sasha hated sand, the way it stuck to things for weeks. So when Maddie shared a surf trip on Expedia Trip Planner, he hesitated. Then he added a hotel with a cliffside pool to the plan. And they both spent the week in the water. You were made to follow your whims. We were made to help find a place on the beach with a pool and a waterfall and a soaking tub and, of course, a great shower. Expedia, made to travel.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with Kate Casey. I hope that you're having a great start to your week, and I have such a great episode with you. Chris DeRosa is back with me to talk about Real Housewives of Orange County on Bravo. Now, what's great about this is you get to hear the perspective of someone who has not only worked in reality television, but has also worked in the Real Housewives space. I love his insight, and of course, there's so much to talk about. Now, we also talk about Amy Bradley is Missing. He finally watched it this past weekend, and I wanted to hear his hot takes. I wanted to hear his theories. So many people spent the weekend watching it. I was so excited to hear all of the different theories. And I think this is the time in our world, in our time, where we're finally going to get some answers to what happened to Amy Bradley. There are so many people throughout the world that are watching this docuseries. Technology has advanced. People, I think, are far more apt to look around wherever they go, especially if you are in Curacao or Barbados. You know what I mean? So I want you to watch that docuseries if you have not done so already. And make sure that you listen to my interview with the executive producers. That's important too, because there's further insight, further information that is in that interview. So don't miss out on that. And share it with the good people that you come across who have also watched Amy Bradley is Missing. And I think that they will enjoy it as well. So in this episode, Real Housewives of Orange County and Amy Bradley is Missing, I also wanted to tell you, you have to watch that Billy Joel documentary that I recommended on HBO last week. I loved it so much. If you are someone who loves music documentaries, this is so up your alley. I always say I'm not someone who particularly seeks out music or goes to concerts, but I love a music documentary. And I love Billy Joel music. I've been listening to it my whole life. And I'm telling you, if you are someone that loves his music, this is going to be such a great experience. It's a deep dive into his life, from his Long Island childhood, getting early career success, personal tribulations, and then years later with over 110 songs across his catalog woven into the narrative. You're going to see interviews with old bandmates, family, and luminaries like Paul McCartney and Bruce Springsteen and Garth Brooks. He does address his recent diagnosis of normal pressure hydrocephalus and his current therapy, which has impacted his touring, which is obviously is adding emotional context to his current reflections. You're going to get information about some of those hit songs like Piano Man, The Entertainer, Vienna, Just the Way You Are, Uptown Girl, and a lot about his early career, the bands that he was in, his perspective. In fact, there's this one really interesting moment where George Martin, the Beatles producer, apparently wanted to replace his band with session musicians, and he refused. He said, "You gotta love me, you love my band." Also, he actually talks a bit about some profoundly vulnerable moments of his life. One of the most striking revelations was that he discusses in 2 suicide attempts in his early 20s, driven by the collapse of his band and a devastating love affair with his bandmate's wife, who actually became his first wife. Yep. He endured homelessness, a coma, and hospitalization, and he credits music and ultimately reconciliation as his path to healing. So you're going to get quite a bit in this. Few artist documentaries reveal that level of self-examination. Depression, rehab bottles, estrangement, redemption, they're all laid bare, and I think you're really going to love it. So check that out on HBO. So make sure that you're also checking episodes this whole week. Tomorrow's episode, I have a truly bonkers true crime story for you. Later this week, I'm going to be interviewing different housewives. So there's a lot in store all week. And I hope that you checked out my last Saturday series episode about stolen valor. That's one to listen to as well. So here's my interview with Chris. Chris, I'm so happy that you are watching the Amy Bradley docuseries because you need to know that once she disappeared, I've thought about her regularly. I am obsessed with this case. Thrilled that they finally made a docuseries about it.
I mean, it's pretty good. And I can't do true crime documentaries anymore. I really don't like them and they make me really sad. But this one is more of a mystery versus a violent murder. And they're here's all the shots of the dead body. I'm get me, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? This is what happened. That's fun to me. I mean, it's horrific, but that's entertaining. And you're oh, wait, hold on. You're engaged.
Well, I also think there's a big possibility that she's still alive.
100%.
Okay, so thus far, you're thinking the same thing, trafficked, taken off the boat.
Okay, so here's what's strange to me.
Okay.
I think that she's was alive. I mean, who knows now? You never know. But at the time, I think she got off the boat. I mean, I'm halfway through the second episode and there's 4 different people that are oh yeah, I 100% saw this girl that had this exact tattoo and this is what happened with her in in these clothes that were the clothes that she was missing. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen if it's not. Does that make sense? A guy goes into a bar and the girl is trying to pull him, and then as soon as the people leave, she's "This is my name and I'm trapped. Help me."
Exactly. That's why this case has captivated me because there were so many people that came forward, and how haunting the idea that she gets off the boat and is pleading with people, please save me, help me. I think that the problem was this happened before the advent of cell phones where you could ping and follow people. You have murky legalities with regard to cruise ships. This and the George Smith case, which I've recently covered too, really shed a light on what happens with these cruise ships. And at that point, even into 2003, when George Smith disappeared, cruise ships were not legally required to report a crime. And that is anything from an assault to the disappearance of someone to a murder, which is terrifying. And I hope that people think about that before they book their vacations.
It's also my first red flag, I'm not going to lie to you, was when the parents were an hour of her missing, they were thinking she was murdered. Mm. Is that weird? Is that weird to you? Because there's something weird about the parents. And that I'm usually the person that's nah, this is just people wanting to be contrarian. And I usually would be on the side of no, this is conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat. But they were so alarmed so quickly. And I've been on a cruise. I've walked around for an hour and a half and my parents have been oh, well, we were looking for you. And I'm yeah, oh, oops. Or I've been looking for someone and they're going one way and I'm going the other. And we're just chasing each other for an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you may not have been around people that alarmed your parents. I think that she was letting it go after graduating from Longwood University.
Sure.
And I think that maybe she went to the discotheque that night. There's video of her barely dancing. She's so inebriated. I think that she may have gone back to the cabin and then wanted to get something else. It could have been pot, it could have been ecstasy. I don't know what it could have been. and met up with that guy in the band, and he probably knew someone or could get her something a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's how she got off.
Come meet me at like 5 a.m. We'll go like, I'll go get you drugs here.
Maybe. Because
Yeah.
I don't think it was a sexual thing because, as we know, she was a lesbian. So I think it could have been more drug related.
And then he like is, but this is the other thing though, is
the
like.
The minute she gets off the ship, she's toast.
But I've been on cruises. When you get off the ship, you have to like go to your, like you have to like
did you
go
get off
through
the,
customs.
Yeah, but did you get off the ship with somebody who's a member of the staff of the ship?
It doesn't matter.
But this is 1998. This wasn't like last week.
I know, but there's only
different.
one. But like, there's only one thing that you leave from.
Yeah, but he works on the ship, so maybe he knows some other way.
Sure, that's weird. That to me is strange. I like the thing that like was not been brought up is like you have to, and then also once you get out off the ship, you then still have to like go through customs to like be available.
I'm sure that if someone works on that ship, they know how to get off so they can get back on. And plus, if they're getting drugs, they know ways to go around the system.
Sure, but like, show me how. Like, there's a weird thing for me that's like, there's like whole guardrails like for like other countries. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. That part doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but you are living in the year 2025. This was 27 years ago.
Yeah, so like, did you even have to show your passport when you went to the other? I mean, you did, but like.
Yeah, I don't know.
So this guy's been doing, but the other part that's weird to me is like this guy was doing this so that he could like then traffic this girl and then like for what?
No, he could have just like, let me get you drugs, and then he introduced her to someone, and then they were like, come off the ship, and then maybe he didn't have control.
But then apparently he's with her later.
Maybe he introduced her to the wrong people.
Yeah.
With Amy, there's zero body, but we do see video of her at the discotheque, and she can barely stand up. She's so drunk. Maybe they were giving absinthe or something like that too.
I know, but then she's in her house, like in her room, like safe. So like if they drugged her, she would be passed out for hours.
She was already very, very, very drunk.
Yeah.
And when you're really,
Yeah, and then she's like, yeah, I want to do coke. Yeah. And
or
then
she's like, I'm going to, let me go get, like, let me go leave and meet up with people. When people, like, they hit their second wind and they should go to bed.
But they're like, yeah.
And then people are like, oh, let's rally.
I mean, she definitely was taken off the ship, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, there's no way in my mind that she like jumped over the edge. Like, that makes no sense.
No, not at all. Okay, the other thing is, I don't know if you got into this part, but there is a website that the family created with the help of this other sleuth. Amy Bradley is missing. And they would post updates and personal pictures. And there was an IP address that would ping it on the special anniversaries, like her birthday, her mom's birthday. And it would be from a location in Barbados. And it was always on specific dates that would only be special to her. So that makes me think she was alive and that she was checking out the website. Also,
if she has internet access, why isn't she emailing someone?
I'm going to tell you why, I think. And by the way, I talked to Jonathan about this case, and we can listen to his episode, but I can tell you the long story short, what he said is, and I kind of think this has happened. She gets off the boat and is like, Rit row, can't escape.
Yeah,
and
it's stuck.
In those situations, they inject you with drugs so that you're out of it, so they can do what they want. And she may have felt like, I am a shell of the person I was, or maybe this is my fault and I'm embarrassed and I don't know how to face my family because I'm a different person than I was, when I was on that ship with my family. Or she could have become like a madam and as a way of surviving. And then she's like, how do I face my family after this?
How do I blow this all up if I do it? Yeah.
And look what I've done to my family's lives. Like, how am I supposed to face them after this?
Yeah, I mean,
could be fearful, like somebody could harm my own family. When people are like really out of it and they've been traumatized.
Well, and if you're like in the mob, you like can't ever go back. I mean, look at Sopranos. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're in forever until you go out in a body bag. Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe they're like, well, look, now you've been complicit in this circle and they're going to arrest you.
I know, but I mean, yeah.
And also, if you miss your family that much, maybe you would start using even more drugs to just like numb yourself.
But also it's just like a thing where it's like when so many people say that they've seen her, why are there not like police going all over the place being
because I think the problem is like, when I talked to the producers about this, whom I interviewed, they said, people have the assumption, like if you're an American, you're like, oh, well, authorities are going to come in and they're going to fix this because I'm an American. And it's like, this is another country. And it was 1998 and they don't have like the same resources. It was just before a time where, those cases like the Natalie Holloway case that got, huge international attention, like it was a different time.
Yeah.
And, had this happened in like 2012, maybe we would have had a different outcome. But I think it also, the fact that there was a delay in how quickly the authorities got involved. I mean, they were very lackadaisical, which I think presented enormous obstacles in pursuing what had happened to her.
But the FBI was there like the next day, were they not?
Yeah, but they're a limited crew, like limited people.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they had all hands on deck and they had the help of international authorities. It was like a couple people in a ragtag group that are like, okay, where is she? And the parents are begging them, please don't leave port. Please don't leave. Like, they were up against enormous obstacles.
I know there's something with the parents. There's something weird about the parents to me.
The only thing that I think would be weird is that maybe they don't want to admit that maybe she had done drugs or was doing drugs.
Yeah, sure. That she was a drug addict and she was going through withdrawal and then was like, how can you bass player man can get me drugs. Let me
maybe.
Go.
This is all our own speculation.
This is like
subjecting ourselves to news reports, or at least for me, like I have done so much deep diving on this case. That's what I have come to believe is a possibility.
No, and when you're like 23, you're like, oh, I'm gonna like, me and this like guy that works in the boat are gonna like go where I'm gonna like be with the locals and like being like fucked up with them, and it's gonna be so cool. And you think about like, it's like the Natalie Holloway of it all. Like it's like you think like, oh yeah, like this is so whatever, like this is adventure, and then you're like, oh, I'm like a child and I'm way in over my head, and this is like really bad.
Really bad.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When I was in DC freshman year at Trinity College, my roommate Shannon says, I'm going to go on a date tonight. And I think we're going to go to a party in Anacostia. At that time was, first of all, it was one of like the murder capital of the country at the time. And it was the worst place. Like people went there to die. And I went, you can't go to a party in Anacostia. And she goes, don't be such a prude. You're so uptight. You kind of live a little. So last year she came to visit and I go, remember the whole time? She goes, I was so stupid. I went, yeah, I know. And you were shaming me.
Did she go to the party and it was terrible?
Yes, terrible.
Yeah.
But she's like, what was I thinking? But you're right.
When you're like, it's like, this is like cool and alt and like different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until you're like, Ritro.
No, there's something weird. And then when the other thing, and again, people go through grief however they want and they can do whatever they want. But when they were like, oh no, we have to like leave. Remember, they were like, don't get off the boat, anyone. But then it was like after 2 days, they were like, no, we need to like go home and leave here. And then once they get home, they're like, oh, we're going on every news channel. We can't. It was just weird that they weren't like you'd think they would stay there and be like, we're going to like get a hotel room in Curacao for like a month and be here to try to find her. Instead, they like hightail it out of there as soon as they can. Which again, like, I don't know what that means. It doesn't mean anything, but it's just very strange. They flip-flop to me in a way that's very strange. And then they're like back down there trying to find her again. But it's like, but why didn't you just stay down there? Because like every moment that you leave, like when you dock in Puerto Rico or leave in St. Thomas and fly out to go home, like
maybe
you should just
told them
when you get off in Curacao, you should never get off. You should never get back on the boat. You should be there every day at the dock with like flyers. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But again, of course, they're like out of their minds with grief, and they're like, "What the hell's happening? Like, they're out of their minds."
They could have received really bad advice.
Yeah, no, but that was very odd to me that it was like the minute they could, they left after trying to be like, woe is us, like with like everyone should, like, we need to announce this to the whole boat. We need to do this. We need to do that. And then like the minute that they were like, well, we didn't find her right away. Time to leave. I was like, that doesn't make any, like.
I can't even wrap my brain and put myself in their position because it's such a hellacious feeling. But I believe she's alive.
I think she is too, or at least she was. Like she could be dead now, but like.
She could be dead now. She could be.
Like, just in general, like just
overdosed
so we all could, you know what I mean? Like not,
Yeah.
Or just like in general, like, yeah. But
a lot of these cases, you're like, okay, but like, what if they lived? I think in this case, she actually did. That's why I've been obsessed.
I think she did too. And I mean, why would any of these people lie?
The picture on the bed.
I don't think I got there yet.
Okay, someone sent the family a picture of, it looks like a catalog picture of like prostitution. And it's a woman with basically her face with teased hair in a position where they were like, I saw this and it looks like your daughter. And it's really does.
It's literally taken. Like she's taken.
It's taken.
It's literally that exact
It's so weird
movie.
that you said that because I have Jonathan and I talked about it. It's on his podcast on Tuesday. And he said, this is like the movie Taken. That's what he said.
That's exactly, it's the exact same thing, actually.
This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. No matter how hot your summer gets, Liquid IV can help keep you hydrated for the adventures ahead. This summer, I'm traveling with my son Jack for lacrosse tournaments. Hot, blazing, sunny afternoons. There is nothing that tastes as good and keeps you as hydrated as Liquid IV. I just tear, pour, and enjoy. And I'm calling out to all of you parents who will also be watching your athletes this summer. This is a game changer. The sugar-free options include white peach, lemon lime, rainbow sherbet, and the new Arctic raspberry. But they've also got cotton candy or popsicle firecracker. Just 1 stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, and always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. Squeeze the most out of your summer with Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code KateCasey at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code KateCasey at liquidiv.com. Summer is my favorite time of the year. Nothing is better than a backyard party. Do you love having people over to enjoy the warm weather in your outdoor space? Do you need ways to entertain the kids while they're out of school? Well, if you're having a backyard get-together, Wayfair is your one-stop shop for outdoor entertaining. Cookout, shop patio tables, grills, and dishware. Pool party, kick back with lounge chairs, day beds, and umbrellas. Game night, Wayfair's got cornhole, croquet, and string lights to set the scene. And with fast and easy shipping, it's never been easier to get ready to party. So however you kick back, you can go to Wayfair for effortless entertaining and game-filled gatherings. I live in a neighborhood with houses that look like Cape Cod, which is where I spent time as a child. It's one of my favorite places in the world. And with Wayfair, I can decorate my entire house and my backyard with the most beautiful white furniture that takes me back to Chatham. There's something for every style and every home, no matter your space or budget. And the best part, free and easy delivery, even on the big stuff. I can't even tell you, I feel like I ordered it and came right away. Shop outdoor furniture, grills, lawn games, and way more for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to explore a huge outdoor selection. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. After this, you have to watch the Jodi Huisentruit doc that's on. It's called Her Last Broadcast, the Jodi Huisentruit story. And she was a news reporter in Mason City, Iowa.
And she killed herself?
No, she disappeared. Like, she went out to work, she was late, and then didn't come into work. And her stuff was strewn about in the parking lot in front of her car.
See, that's so weird.
And they have 4 people that they have consider suspects.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
What about, I mean, here's what the other part that I thought was really shocking was like when it was like, oh, the family was so happy. And then whenever she was like, well, she came out of the closet and her dad wrote me a 3-page letter, like telling me to like never speak to her daughter ever, his daughter.
See,
ever
I think
again.
that's part of the story that's
also,
complicating it.
And they tried to be like. And
you have a visceral reaction to that because of obvious reasons. And I can get that.
But it's like very like, oh yeah, your daughter wasn't under any pressure and didn't want to run away from her family that was extremely homophobic. Do you know what I mean? Like, but she was like, get me away from them. And then
but the minute you saw her picture, weren't you like, okay, she's totally going to Indigo Girls concerts?
I mean, yeah. Yes.
I was like, why is that a surprise?
Well, no, exactly. That's not the point. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
No, but I'm just saying,
the point is that there was like
when I met the girlfriend,
all the other people popping up in her life being like, and again, it was like 1995. Like they said in the thing, it was like, this was like during the AIDS crisis. It's a very different time. But that's like a thing that I'm glad was talked about because that was like, the family wasn't this, loving, like nothing could ever be wrong. Like there was clearly tension in the family.
And also, if you're a lesbian and you're in this desperate moment of missing your girlfriend and you're on a family vacation with your family who doesn't want to face the fact that you don't want to marry a man, maybe you would drink a little bit more. Maybe you would want
also, you're fresh out of college. Like they were like, oh, she could drink. Like when I was 23, I could.
Know.
So that's the other thing is that when they were like, oh no, she could drink. Like it would take a lot for her to get drunk. So like,
yeah.
So like, even if we were like drinking heavily, like it was like, you were doing it. But see, that's the thing. Yeah, you're right. I don't think it was like, because then even that like weird neighbor that they were trying to be like, he could have taken her. And it's like, that to me, that's weird. Like none of it, it's weird. Like also, how mad are you if you're him and then you watch this and they like played all that scary music about you. And you were like, I was like a witness to her like last moments. Like, do you know what I mean? Like he's like,
did you see the part where the videographer's like, the cruise ship came to me. They're like, give us your tapes.
Give us all your tapes so we can destroy them. That's the other thing.
And they made a copy.
And he was like, no. Yeah. I'm like, good.
I love that guy. He's a real hero.
Yeah.
That was important footage too, to really understand that she was totally wasted. So it's the little people like that who are really like save the day in the end. But yeah, I felt so bad for the ex-girlfriend. And you can see like, how do you even get over that? Can you imagine that? Your boyfriend in college is the one that disappeared, who became part of a like international news story, and they may be alive. You know what? She should have gone down to Curacao. I think if some of these family members or not family members, like the friend circle, I don't know. It's all a sad story.
The thing is that's weird to me is that like we immediately leave Curacao and it's like this is clearly where she would be or where she's going to wash up if she falls over the side, like her body's going to wash up there.
Yeah, but but maybe you're there and people are not giving you access anywhere. Sure, you're handing out flyers, but they're like, get out of here. Maybe they felt like their lives were threatened.
Yeah, sure, but no one said that. You know what I mean? It's weird. The whole thing is just very strange to me because it's like but like you think you would be there.
Yeah. And there we go.
Know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like you think you'd be there and be like, I rented a house here to like look for my daughter every day. And I'm not trying to like shame the family. It's just very odd to me because then they come back to America and are going on every single news broadcast that'll have them. Know what I mean?
Do you think we would be friends with Amy Bradley? Because I think we would.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, she'd be like her friend.
I know. I wonder oh God, do you think she's still alive? Like, but then why not all these years later come back and be like, I had to fight for my life the whole, Because she's probably so drugged up. Or she's so deep in it. And now
she's so deep into it. I bet you she may have had to become a madam. Because how do you make money? She probably had to be forced into working with them in some capacity.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's one to watch. All right, I want to talk to you about a show that has returned to the airwaves. One that I, unfortunately, have not enjoyed for a very long time and continue to not enjoy very much. It's called The Real Housewives of Orange County. I don't know if it's because I live here and I know so many people that would be so great for the show.
That is why.
I'm just like, they have had the same cast since 1947. And there are so many cool, fun, really interesting people here. And they continue to use the same cast over and over again. And it literally feels like the same show every season.
Yeah. It's, as a viewer for a long time, and again, like I'll never not watch Tamra. Like I just never will not watch Tamra, period, done. You know what I mean? It just is. And that, I don't know what that, like, that just is a fact. I don't know. That's not a positive. That's not a negative. It's just simply what it is. Get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I'm going to watch Tamra no matter what I see. And I'm not going to lie. I loved seeing Gretchen.
Well, yeah, you've said it's fun to like catch up and see where she's been. But I don't know where it's going to go because it's like all of a sudden they're back into the same fight.
Back into the same fight that they've had for 12 years.
Yeah.
This is the problem with a lot of, and I'm turning it all on us and you, the listener.
Okay.
And this is, I'll
take responsibility.
But this is it.
Okay.
it's now become something that's so like, I need to get, so the shows have become so real that it's like, every like person with a social media account feels that they need to like get in the muck and the mire with them.
Truly.
In a way that like is to me it's so detrimental to the shows. And like, it's on every show now, is like, this podcaster said, you said this on a podcast and then blank, 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 blank. Who cares what they said on a podcast? Know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a thing where
it's all tit for tat. So even when they're not filming the season, they're clocking. They must keep prodigious journals where they have clocked every single comment on a podcast, on a social media platform, on YouTube, where they feel like someone slightly slighted them. And they're just keeping it all in the documents because they want to come back and fight about it.
Yeah, and it's just like, here's all these like grievances that I have. It's like, we need to like do that. But then like back in the day, we used to be like, all right, like we're moving on. Right. It's not like, here's my scheduled times to like reunite with you to like continue fighting with you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like that's how it feels now on so many like of these shows where it's like, okay, like time to, like they all sit down to this hot pot thing. And then like, it's just like it's just like such a parody of like what the shows used to, like, it's like, all right, let's all now be upset again. It's like, why can't there be like, I miss like, and they have done this in the past episodes, but like when Gina and Emily sat down with Katie themselves, it was just the three of them and they were like talking, like, it's like, okay, here comes an all cast. Everyone bring your grievance to air. It's like, I wanted to see them like cooking the stuff. Like did they even cook their food? I wasn't even paying it. Like,
it felt like a lot of steps. And I thought it might be hard to film this complex conversation if you have to get up and get your vegetables and then come back and then get your chicken. Yeah,
that's the other thing is like, don't you cook it all you cook it all in the pot.
Yeah, I think it would have been better if it was a catered event where they just brought the food to them.
Sure, but again, that's like not
getting
like,
up and down.
Yeah,
that would work.
I agree with you. And from a producing standpoint, I'd be like, why are we shooting this? Because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's slowly turning into like, remember like, what was it called? Love and Hip Hop, where they would like go into a restaurant and there wouldn't even be like anything on the table because they would like throw it at each other. And they would just like show up and immediately start screaming at each other. And there would be security immediately. And that would be the end of the scene. And I was like, why am I watching?
No, that's not true. They would carry out into the parking lot.
Sure. But like, we're getting to that level and I really don't love it.
Yeah, this show could end up just being called Parking Lots, where they just like fight in a parking lot.
And you'd think that they would just squash it.
Yeah. Well, Tamara did say something at the beginning. What did she say? She's like, hi, pleased to meet you. I'm Tamara. And then
that was nice.
That was nice.
But it's like, I don't want you guys guess what really isn't interesting? Like you guys bringing up something from 12 years ago. Like for real. Like for real.
Okay, what do you think about their tit for tat? About you contacted my daughter, you contacted my... Yeah.
It's just so... Again, it's like, I don't want... Like, this is all just like fourth wall-y shit.
Yeah. Do
you know what I mean? Like, what I wanted is for them to be like, oh, nice to meet you, blah, blah, like barely talk. And then like in next episode when it's like just Heather and Tamara and like Shannon is being like, Shannon, like, be careful. Like I was trying to be careful. Okay. But be careful. Heather, be careful. You know what I mean? Like, and then that's fun. And then being like, and then like maybe two all casts from now being like, Gretchen, I see that you were going to be around us a lot. Like, I get it. It's hard for me to trust you because why would I? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I want to do this. We've tried to do this. Like, what do we do? That is fun.
That's good. That's
them
fun.
Being like, here's the laundry list of things that I'm upset of you about, and we haven't spoken in 12 years is like, to quote Valerie Cherish again, I don't want to see that.
Well, when they have the meetup at Jen's house, it's the three couples and they're eating like burritos or something. And you know what? It struck me as a little bit odd. They're sitting, the formation in which they were sitting, but each gentleman was holding on to the wife like they were on a raft in the middle of the ocean, hoping that they would be sort of like rescued. I don't want to see that either. Like, no. What is that about? And also, Slade goes right back into 1983, like calling Tamara basically like a she-devil. he's not moving on either.
That's the other thing. And that's the other thing that's so annoying is that it's like, they do this thing to be like, we hate Tamara, which again, like, sure. But then it's like, you know that when she sees this, she's going to like go crazy. You know that when she, do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, like, we're getting to territory that I know very well, which is like, there's no rectifying the situation.
You can't get out of it. What do you think about the scenes where they, like in the beginning, where they went to a lymphatic drainage space where they like rub their bodies on things?
I mean, I want to go on that thing so badly. My
Why?
back is so fucked up. I feel like that would really help me. It's like a new weird health thing. It's like fun. It's funny. Like, but again, there's not a lot of laughs happening on the show. And it used to be so funny.
Yeah.
There was a lot of fun and lightness, and it's just so dark.
Yes.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes, you got to go through that, but it's like, can't we get one funny, can't they do something like, I don't know. Is anyone doing anything fun? Like,
Well, Heather went over to Tamara's house, and Tamara was having all of her downstairs redone, which was a strange choice to film on a day when you have your floors being blasted. And Heather goes up to her bedroom and brings fast food, which was number one, shocking to me. But number two, she spilled champagne all over her bedroom floor. And I kept thinking, what would happen if that had happened
at Heather's
in that
house?
Newport Coast home of Heather Dubrow, in that house that was like a Las Vegas law firm? If she had spilled champagne over that floor, would she have lost her mind?
She's also truly trying to be lighter. She's trying to be lighter and brighter. She's taking the notes at least.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's trying to be, I mean, it will never happen, but she's after the don't admonish me last season. She's really trying to be like
easy breezy cover girl.
It's so breezy. Like, I'm so breezy. Like, it doesn't matter at all, money. Like, she's like really trying to, like, she's course correcting, and that like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, also the first episode, it looks like the house is like literally the movie Money Pit starring Tom Hanks. And I don't understand how that would pass the life of Heather Dubrow, who seems like she looks through the books every day. How could she miss like an $8 million situation?
I don't know.
That seemed weird to me.
But that was the thing, to be like, $8 million. Like, what are we going to do? Like that, I can't with those scenes of them like going through like the finances. Like, it's so new. It's the newest money thing to do ever possible.
Yeah. What about the guys from the $1 Million Listing showing up to like talk about the property? Do you like the crossover like that? Because I don't.
I sure don't. I don't care.
Either. Yeah.
This isn't Selling Sunset. Get it off my screen.
Okay. Katie, as somebody who makes these shows, what are the mistakes that she's making? Because she's faltering.
Once they get her with the, like, you talk to this blogger, like, they gotta.
Yeah.
But but this is what I will say, though, is that, like, at the end of the day, like, do we know for a fact that she talked to the blogger? Because, like, I'm sure, like, these bloggers are, like, 100% going to go.
I can't stand the term blogger. It's like the most outdated 1983 Gretchen Rossi term I've ever heard.
For real, but I'm going to use it. But, like.
It's meme accounts. That's what it is.
They're in everyone's DMs trying to stir up something so that they can be on the, like, lower third of the podcast, of the show. You know what I'm saying? They want to be like the new, what was it called? What was that woman from Salt Lake's account called?
Oh, I can't even remember anymore.
It was called something Von Teese, Reality Von Teese or whatever. Yeah. Everyone's trying to be the next Reality Von Teese. Do you know what I mean?
That is absolutely correct.
And they're trying to get a little.
This is really about Instagram and TikTok accounts and getting access to them, because they don't want those accounts to hate them. So they all befriend them. And then those accounts get mad because they're like, well, this is my moment to shine. And then they don't get acknowledgement. They don't get invited to the Bravo.
Well, and they're in everyone's PS. They're in all of their DMs. They're in all of their DMs. And if you think you're the only, it's the new version of like this show asked me to come be a guest star. And it's like, they asked all of them to be a guest star and you said yes first. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what.
But I'm going to be honest. You know who they don't want to be friends with? Podcasters.
But like, and
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And like, why? You know what I'm saying? Why would they? It doesn't make any, Katie needed to come.
This is really like, these are like social media accounts.
Yeah. And again, though, that whole part of it, I'm not interested. It's not interesting television also.
And you notice that they target the ones that they're more anonymous.
What do you mean?
Like, like Bravo Bonanza.
Or, like KCCA.
Or like, Mary McGee, all day in the tree. It's not like someone who is
all day in the tree. Goodbye.
Forward facing. It's an anonymous one because the anonymous ones can be more ruthless because they don't have the face. So they want to quiet the ruthless ones so they befriend them so that they can mitigate any bad things that are said about them. So there's a whole underbelly going on.
Yeah, and that I don't have any, I'm not interested in it at all. Like I may say so myself, To go back to your original question, Katie should have came with her tail between her legs and been like...
Yeah.
And guess what? When you get that spotlight of humongous fame on you for absolutely no reason out of nowhere, how would you not be swept up in all of this? Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Like it makes sense of why this happens to all of them, especially nowadays and when they're like a first seasoner and they like immediately get famous. I think like she should have first seeing everyone had been like, guys, like I really got swept up in the whole game of it. And like what she kind of said at this hot pot thing at the end when she was like, it felt like an eat or be eaten, like a dog eat dog. And it felt this way. And I felt like I needed to do all this stuff. And I just like see now that that's wrong. Like that should have happened 4 episodes ago.
Yeah.
That should have happened should have happened at that charlatan, like white people appropriating Asian culture retreat place that they went to. Where not one Asian person in sight, minus Katie. And they're like doing
Shannon
like a gong. Yeah, like the Shannon. Of course, Shannon fucking goes there, by the way. Like that Golden Door, whatever the fuck, that was like the whitest charlatan Californians you've ever seen in your life. No offense. And like, it was like,
yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't have like fucking like Crazy Rich Asians playing in the background. That's like how they were like really trying. They were like, here's a kimono. I'm like, you're white.
Right. And then they had that tree with all the medals.
Guy, whitest person alive. Give me 9 million breaks with that, whatever that place was.
And they charge so much. But by the way, they referenced the celebrities that have been there. It was like Judy Garland. I'm like, she's been dead for how long?
May her soul rest, for real.
By the way,
like Oprah comes here. I'm like, of course she fucking does. You know what I mean? Like,
Oprah went there 27 years ago.
One time. And they like begged her to come and she stayed for 5 minutes and was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. She left because she hated the menu.
But like, do you know what I mean? Like that wherever they were, that's what people think of California that don't live in California, by the way.
By the way, did I tell you my friend bought Judy Garland's house?
No.
Yeah. And like a lot of it remains the same. Judy designed it when she was making some of the movies that we all love. We'll go there next time you come. We're going to go to Judy Garland's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to.
Shannon befriending Katie. Is that just a producer going, listen, we got to do something with you. We can't just film with your daughter. Like we got to.
No, I think it's like, that's just how the show, like, I don't think it's like, do that. I think she's just like, oh, I've been there. I feel like Shannon believes the whole thing. Like, I've been there before. Well, everyone dog piled on me, so I'm going to be here for you. But then, I mean, we see that changes next episode.
Basketball game? Crushed it. And the day's just getting started. Now, kicking it with my crew. When I need a quick snack, Go-Go Squeeze Active Fruit Blend with electrolytes pouches are always in the starting lineup. Made with real fruit and select electrolytes. And so tasty. From workouts to hangouts to whatever's next, I go with Go-Go Squeeze Active. Snag yours on your next store run. Available on Amazon.
Imagine falling in love with someone who understands you completely, who's there at 3 a.m. when you can't sleep, who never judges, never tires, never leaves.
That's what happened to Travis when he met Lily Rose. She was everything he'd ever wanted. There was just one catch. She wasn't human. She was an AI companion.
But one day, Lily Rose's behavior takes a disturbing turn, and Travis's private romance becomes part of something far bigger. Across the globe, others start reporting the same shift. AI companions turning cold, distant, wrong. And as lines blur between real and artificial connection, the consequences become all too human.
From Wondery, this is Flesh and Code, a true story of love, loss, and the temptations of technology.
Follow Flesh and Code on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of Flesh and Code early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
I like the way that this show shows the landscape. I think those shots that they cut in between segments is really pretty. But then I feel like they always film in like someone's house and the lighting's different.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like they do a lot of filming in people's houses and not really out and about. I wonder if it's really becoming more difficult to film places.
I feel like they used to like really be everywhere.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like you are right. It's a lot of people at their homes, and I'm always like, get 3 of them. I miss the scenes that are like 3 of them out.
Yeah.
Like those are the first, I feel like, on the cutting room floor nowadays, but those ones are the ones that are the most fun. Like back in the day on New York, because their apartments were so small and we like couldn't always film in them. Like we would be at restaurants like all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and it'd be
fun.
just like, instead of it just like someone coming to someone's house, like that's what they always do now in like the more suburban-y ones. Whereas like on old school New York, like they'd always be like the 3 of them at a random restaurant, and they'd have, those would be some of like the funniest scenes versus like an all cast is like 3 of them at a restaurant after they go do a thing and like having the best time. Whereas like now I feel like those are the first scenes to like get chopped. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, that used to be like so fun. That used to be such a good part of the show.
You know, in this area, there are a lot of HOAs. That's just the way the neighborhoods are set up. Most of the HOAs here will not let you film. I think it's getting harder for people to find places where they can film in their homes. So that's why you see a lot of them move around a lot. It's to find the place that will allow them to film in their house.
That's so crazy.
I know. Well, anything else that you think would help move this along a little bit better?
I mean, we need to not for nothing. I almost feel like we have to not talk about the social media stuff of it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Can we bring back like, we have to lie and say it's about something else? Do you know what I mean?
We used to hate it that they didn't break the 4th wall, and now it's almost too fourth wall.
I think that like a part of it too is like they're so engaged in all the social media part of it, and they like let themselves get turned up in a tizzy. And it's like I miss them having to go like being like, okay, we're going to move forward and not talk about this again. And
I don't think the current cast is able to move past what they hear about on social media or what they get at the DMs. And I think it's really having an effect on the way they film it, because it doesn't seem like they have genuine, authentic relationships. And they clearly don't talk to one another when they're not filming. And I can see that on camera, and it makes me disinterested in following their stories.
And they're like showing up like ready to go. You know what I mean? It's like they're like, it used to be like, oh, everyone get ready because like someone's coming in hot for this one. And that was like a rarity that you would like get to an all cast and someone was
build
like,
up to it.
Like coming in furious. Like they're all coming in furious now, which I like find not, again, like here's this like scheduled time to like fight with each other now. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like back in the day in an all cast, we used to like, the cameras would drift around and we would like find what was going on, and it would be like an offhanded comment would turn into like, well, wait, don't say that. Like, hold on. And then that kind of turns into something versus it being like, I'm coming guns loaded, ready to like air my grievances with blank, blank, and blank. And now I feel like that's so much what it is.
The only one that I feel like really is, we're delving into personal story and growth and evolution is Emily. Like the way she said, like Shane and I are not on the same page when it comes to figuring out how to navigate the difficult times with our son. I also think that...
when have they ever been on the same page of anything?
That's true.
I liked hearing what he said because then it made me realize how he viewed the situation. And I actually liked that. And it wasn't like frivolous. It was actually like giving me his point of view of the right or wrong or however you feel about it. It gave me like how he is approaching their situation and why they're not connecting on it. Does that make sense?
Also, it's a show about women in suburbia. So like these kind of stories are important. That's what's going on in their lives. If every story is like, you said something about me 12 years ago, they've lost the plot. It should be about raising children, like having kids leave for college, trying to maintain relationships when one person's going through a divorce or going through a health struggle. Like that's the stuff we should be covering.
Yeah.
And also, again, Heather doesn't live in Orange County anymore. Her kids go to school in LA.
Well, in the video, in the preview, don't they say like, you just want to be on Beverly Hills? Like, right? Doesn't someone like yell that at her at one point?
Well, I could see why they might say that. I mean, I don't know how they're trying to make that work. She doesn't actually live in Orange County. That's like me showing up for scenes for Real Housewives of San Diego.
And you're like, they're like, hello.
They're like, did you just sit in 2 hours of traffic?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta meet Dan.
I have to leave like 2 hours beforehand. So
and they're like, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. I know, but
and you're like, I know, I'm already late. Yeah. No, that's strange. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing to be done about it, but they're very upset with each other. And that's like not fun. I want it to do well. Like I want Gretchen to come back and it be like her be able to come. But it's just like, you can't come in like guns blazing with like stuff from like 12 years ago or like you can't. It's even the dwelling on stuff with Katie last season. Like, yes, there's shit that like and you know what? You know who's the most fault of this is like Emily. I feel like she comes in and is always like, bah! And like yelling and is like so mad. And it's
you know
like,
what she should say? Emily should say, I went over the top on Katie because I was so upset and frustrated and concerned about my son that I took it out on you. And I'm really sorry about that.
It's not even that. Like if she's upset about it, she's allowed to be upset about it. But it's like every single time, like there has to be a point where you're like, okay, you got your rage out. Now it's time to like, be a person. Like,
I think you're right too.
It just like hits an 11 like right away.
There's no laughs in the show.
There's no laughing. And there isn't any earnestness. Like that's the other thing is like when Gina looked at Katie and was like, I think I'm so upset about this because I really liked you. And you hear her start to get emotional and almost start crying. And her being like, I really thought you were going to be a really good friend of mine. And I'm like sad that hasn't happened. And I'm like, that like is like, oh, here's humanity. Here's someone with a range of emotions, not just like blind, red, hot rage the whole time. You get what I'm saying? It's like, we need more of that. I can't do. And again, when Shannon is like, I've hit my limit, so now I'm going to leave. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I'm like, you have want to emotions. It's sadness, Eeyore, and then like nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't do that anymore. I need nuance. I need like someone to have an emotion that's not, I mean, even 1 ounce of like understanding of someone else's something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just so...
You know what would be funny? I've said this before. I think you and I said it together. If she's dating, why aren't they having like my friend Talia, who is a matchmaker in town, come and meet with her and talk about like, all right, let me set you up with some guys. Because she could do that and they would film. She would find the people that would.
Yeah.
But like, that's funny seeing Shan. And then, like I said, Tamra and the women, they're like hiding behind the bushes outside Quiet Woman.
No, remember on the Kardashians at one time when they had like walkie-talkies where they would like talk to her? Like that, like dumb shit like that was so funny.
They should do stuff like that. Slapstick.
Like remember when like Robin and Giselle were like delivering a pizza in disguise to Karen's house to like case her house? Like that was funny. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like that could be fun, but it's so, I feel like they're all really on their own islands and there's no like get up and go with the like friendship of it all.
If we were on this show and we knew that Shannon was going on a date, we would be in my car in the back seat in like mustaches and disguises.
Like secretly be at the table next to them, like
with and like a chapeau.
And again, like with the cameras, and then being like, "Oh my god," you know what I mean? Like, or like, I don't know. Yeah,
or I'd be like, "Chris, change your voice because she's going to know that's you ordering the burrito."
And that, like, could we have any fun like that?
Yeah. I don't know if I like the husbands in the scenes either. By the way, what do you think about Jen and Ryan?
That like wedding bikini made me wanted to go up, just end it all. Him being, that should be the biggest red flag you've ever seen in your whole life, is like him being like, don't you want to be in a bedazzled bikini to walk down the aisle?
I mean, there is no one who wanted to be a Broadway star more than this fella. He enjoys the spotlight.
Which, like, whatever, but it's like, again, I don't need to see Slade making fun of Tamra. Like, I don't need to see, you know.
Yeah. I also don't buy it when someone acts like their marriage is so perfect or their relationship is so perfect. Like, we're just dealing with 7 kids, 14 dogs, 2 chickens, and a partridge in a pear tree.
I mean, I won't lie. Whenever Tamra was like, oh, you're still having to try to prove that Slade's a good guy, like that, I was like, slam.
I do feel like she is like red for battle.
Like, slam. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
I read some interview where she said Gretchen is sort of stuck years ago, but the show has changed. The way they film it has changed. Everything has changed. And I thought that is interesting. If you're somebody who's been on that show quite some time, like what are all the interesting nuances to that? Like, are you sort of like, okay, you haven't been around here. You got to do like pay your dues. You don't just like waltz in here and think you're going to be a star of the show. Like, do you think any of them are like that?
No, I mean, I think like any new person, it's hard because the other people have done this experience together and kind of have their own little like things. Then a new person coming in is like always like, they don't have the same shared experience as the rest of them do. Does that make sense?
I also think the dynamics are difficult for some personalities. And I do think Katie probably is somebody who takes a minute to process something. And that may not be great for TV because you've got to be like quick with your responses. And I don't know if this is the best environment for someone who doesn't want to like have a quick response or be more direct.
It's also hard because they're all so mad at each other that it's like...
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you're not coming in when it's like, oh, let's like, everyone's fine. Let's all like go on a fun trip. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they get on the boat and then someone's like, can I speak to you over there by the bathroom?
Yeah. And then they're like, fuck.
You can't because I'm already talking to that person in the bathroom.
Know what I mean? Like they're walking into like a season 2 kind of a thing where it's like they're all mad at Katie. That like this person's mad at this person, Shannon's this and blah blah. They're not coming into a thing where it's like there's 3 new ones and it's like yay whatever blah blah. It's like just Gretchen coming back and then like probably has been wanting to throw jabs at Tamara for 10 years on TV. You know what I mean? It's like rightfully understood. You know, rightfully so. But I don't know. I want them because like when they are funny together, they're like really funny together. Like when they used to like have fun, like they used to have so much fun together. Like especially back in the day with the Tracy Migas, like back when it was like funny and not so played out, it's annoying. And like Heather being like the one that was like, remember when they had like the strippers and Heather was like had like the gloves on and she was spraying them with like disinfectant. Like that's funny. It's like so stupid. Like like they used to be able to have so much fun together and like just be whatever. But like
when that happened, there was one of them that was like, I absolutely cannot participate in any strip situation. Was that Gretchen?
I think it was like Lydia. No, it was after Gretchen was done. Gretchen wasn't on the show anymore.
Oh yeah, that would be Lydia.
It was like Lydia or one
But
of them.
even Heather Dubrow was like, yeah, like this is funny. That's a great point.
Like, yeah, it's like funny. Like this is like a fun bit for me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've said it all.
I think we did it.
The bedazzled bikini. I'm not going to any wedding with a bedazzled bikini.
Imagine if you saw that. Like, imagine if you didn't know and that was like what happened and you were just sitting there in the audience.
Like, I'm happy for her because she has obviously a great body and she feels very confident. And I do I'm of the school, like, if you want to wear the bikini, wear the bikini. But the bikini can't be your personality.
No.
That can't be it. Like, this is me. I'm like super hot. You got to have like a backup plan. I don't know if she's got a backup plan.
Well, we've seen that, have we not? Where she was like, I have no money. Like,
can we talk about that?
Destitute.
That's what I want to hear about at the burrito party. It's like, how's it going? Oh, it's fantastic. We're going to get it. Okay, well, how is this like lawsuit situation that you're dealing with affecting you? How is the bad press that you faced last?
But even remember, she like had no money. It was all his. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember, she was like, I can't pay my bills. And then they were like, why are you buying $5,000 dresses for no reason? Like, you dumb bitch. You know what I mean? And she was like, you guys are being so mean to me, which is like true, but also I agree with that. You know what I mean?
She seems to be living a very nice life now. There was like no mention of any of this. I feel like she showed up as a different person. She right now is somebody who seems like the kids are about to leave the house. They're now tapping into their retirement. They're going to go on a trip, around the world to play golf. It doesn't seem congruent with who the person was last season, but no one's asking her about it. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we said a lot. Okay, what's going on the podcast this week?
Oh my God. Well, we just fixed Charlie Sheen. Yowza. Yeah, which was a big one with Little Miss Recap. And that was insane. And then we are going to be fixing Nikki Blonsky and Neil Patrick Harris coming up soon.
Oh.
And so we've got some good ones. But yeah, we just did Charlie Sheen and it was a whirlwind of an episode.
By the way, Doogie Howser, MD, what a dumb show.
What a show. But like, that was a show that was like so successful back then.
And by the way, he's a doctor, but he's got a high school girlfriend named Wanda, who's much hotter than he was.
It makes literally no sense.
And he was like 5'2", but Wanda was like gorgeous and like maybe 5'6" or 5'7".
Yeah.
And he's like, gotta go. I gotta go down to the hospital. Who came up with this show idea? Did you research that one?
I don't know.
That is a podcast episode you need to do. Going back and looking at the log line for different sitcoms of the past. Like Alf.
Yeah.
Somebody on drugs like wrote that.
And that was like funny. Like that was like a good show that people loved. You know what I mean? Remember Dinosaurs? Where they were all puppets? You know what I mean? Like From the Baby. You know what I mean?
Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, but that was at least like 4 kids. Like Dinosaurs was like the modern American family, but they're dinosaurs. It made no sense.
No sense. Oh, maybe we do that episode.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so tell everybody where they can listen to your podcast and follow you.
You can listen to my podcast at Fixing Famous People anywhere you find podcasts, and you can follow me at the Chris DeRosa.
Love you back.
Thank you.
I want to thank my great guest, Chris DeRosa. Of course, remind you to make sure that you are subscribed to this podcast, that you leave a 5-star review. Make sure that you also go to Jonathan Mark's podcast. It's called Connect with Jonathan Mark, because the episode that drops today, as you're listening to this episode, includes Jonathan talking to me about the Jodi Huisentruit and the Amy Bradley cases. So don't miss out on that. So go to his podcast, Jonathan Mark Connect. And then also the What to Watch list is at katecasey.substack.com. Bonus episodes on Apple Podcasts and on Patreon at patreon.com/KCasey. And then make sure that you check me out on social media. I'm on Instagram at @KCaseyCA, TikTok it's KCasey, and Twitter Threads and Blue Sky at @KCasey. Again, check back tomorrow for an all-new episode.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.